On his first day of being an adventurer, the boy kills a high-level monster. Besides, he is very popular with girls. At the age of 5, he spent only 2.5 minutes making 2 teachers offer their kisses to him. When he is 10, 2 princesses of his country feel jealous of each other because of him, and force him to live with them. In the same year, he conquers the strongest female knight with his strong combat power, and the female knight says she is willing to have his baby no matter what. What other girls will the boy encounter? And what strange interactions will they have? Like and subscribe, and let's get it revealed. In the previous episodes, Kane defeats Tefana, making her one of the members of his harem. At the same time, Kane also obtains a magic book left by the first king of the kingdom. Through this book, Kane learns that the first king was a transmigrationer just like him. However, the first king traveled to this world with his body, and Kane was reborn in this world. The first king was originally an adventurer, and he later founded the country. So Kane also wants to be an adventurer. He comes to the Adventurers Guild and registers as an adventurer. Each adventurer starts with a G rank, and they need to level up by doing quests. Kane's former teacher is a D rank adventurer, and the first king was an SSS rank adventurer. There are good and bad people among adventurers. Several bad adventurers meet young Kane and try to bully him. However, Kane easily dodges their attacks. At this time, a red-haired adventurer helps Kane drive the hooligans away. Kane expresses his gratitude to him. The red-haired adventurer's nickname is Flame, and his wife is the adventurer nicknamed Ice. They are all A-rank adventurers. Kane becomes friends with them, and then they say goodbye to Kane and go on a mission. Kane decides to take a mission as well, and he wants to find a mission to hunt down monsters. Due to Kane's low level, he can only choose to fight low-level monsters such as goblins. As soon as Kane leaves the Adventurers Guild, Tefana comes to see him. When Tefana learns that Kane is going to fight against the goblins, she insists on this mission with him. Facing Tefana's adamant attitude, Kane can only agree to let her help. Later, he senses the location of the goblins in the forest through his powerful mana. After entering the forest, they find that the goblins are attacking a merchant. Kane heals the wounded merchant, and Tefana fights the goblins. As the strongest knight in the kingdom, she easily defeats these goblins. During the battle, Tefana fantasizes about her and Kane's happy life after marriage. It seems that this is just an easy fight for her. After Tefana defeats the goblins, a group of lizard monsters appears, which are more powerful than the goblins. Kane asks Tefana to flee first with the merchant, and he wants to defeat these lizard monsters with powerful magic. After Tefana and the merchant flee to safety, Kane defeats all the lizard monsters in an instant with a single spell. After that, Kane returns to the Adventurers Guild and reports his achievements to the guild's guide, who is surprised to hear that Kane defeats a group of lizard monsters alone. She immediately reports the incident to the manager of the Adventurers Guild. The manager doesn't believe that Kane, a G-rank adventurer, is capable of defeating a group of lizard monsters, because a single lizard monster has the same strength as a D-rank adventurer, and only a whole team of C-rank adventurers can fight a group of lizard monsters. So he directly decides that Kane was cheating and disqualifies Kane from being an adventurer. Fortunately, the leader of the Adventurers Guild arrives in time, and he instantly recognizes Kane's identity and demands an apology from the manager. It turns out that the leader is Tefana's older brother, and he has long heard that his sister's fiancé is Kane and how powerful Kane is. The manager and the guide are very surprised when they hear about Kane's identity, especially the manager. Since Kane is a baron and the manager is just a commoner, the manager's defamation of Kane for cheating is a very serious crime. The manager immediately kneels down to apologize to Kane, hoping that Kane will forgive him. Kane does not blame the manager, but asks him not to be wrong about others in the future, and to investigate before making a judgment. After learning that Kane has defeated a group of lizard monsters, the guild leader decides to raise Kane's level to C rank. But Tefana thinks that the C rank is still too low for Kane, who was able to defeat the dragon alone at the age of 10, and has also defeated her. This can prove that Kane is more powerful than A rank adventurers. The guild leader agrees with Tefana, but even if Kane is strong enough, he can't break the rules. So the guild leader asks Kane to perform a B rank adventurer's mission for leveling up, which is to defeat the bandit group. As long as Kane completes this task, he will be promoted to an A-rank adventurer. Meanwhile, the gods in the divine realm are watching Kane's actions. They are relieved to see Kane become strong, but they don't think Kane is strong enough, because the sealed demon lord is about to awaken, and Kane needs to get stronger so that he can have a chance to defeat the demon lord. Therefore, they decide to find a new teacher for Kane. One morning a few days later, Kane is woken up by his maid. Today is the day of the entrance exam to the Royal Academy, but when Kane wakes up, he is already late. Fortunately, Kane has the ability to teleport, and he teleports himself directly to the examination site. Kane then receives the admission ticket and enters the examination room. Telestia and Silk are also taking the exam today, and strangely, Kane doesn't see them in the examination room. The first exam is a written exam, which Kane completes quickly. The examiner then tests the candidate's level of magic. She says that the examination site is protected by magic, so the candidates can use their full strength without worrying about destroying the examination site. Kane knows that if he really uses his full strength, the examination site will definitely be destroyed, so he casts only one of the simplest magics. But even so, he still destroys the examination site. After the magic exam, the final exam comes, in which the candidates will be tested on their combat ability. The examiners are all adventurers, and they will test the candidates' level through battles. The red-haired adventurer Kane saw before is one of the examiners, so the red-haired adventurer offers to be Kane's examiner. Under normal circumstances, the examiner does not need to be so serious, and they only need to show part of their strength. But the red-haired adventurer can tell that Kane is very powerful, so he fights Kane with all his might. After the fierce battle, Kane is quickly recognized as getting full marks. Now he can go home and wait for the result of the exam. Soon the king learns of Kane's test result. The academy issues a ticket, and Kane needs to pay a fine for destroying the examination site. The king discovers that Kane has actually gone to the wrong examination site. This exam is held in two sites, one for the commoners and the other for the nobles. Kane was supposed to go to the latter, but he went to the wrong one. That's why he didn't meet Telestia and Silk in the examination site. But no matter which examination site Kane is in, he will definitely get full marks. Instead of directly announcing Kane's result, the king asks him to look it up on the notification board like other candidates. Near the notification board, Kane meets Silk, who ranks second, and Telestia wins third place. Undoubtedly, Kane ranks first. Kane's family and friends are very happy. Kane, who wins first place, needs to deliver a speech as the student representative. After he takes the stage, he tells the fact that he went to the wrong examination site but is still admitted to the Royal Academy. He uses this incident as an example to illustrate that although nobles and commoners enter different examination sites, it doesn't mean that they are different, and they are all equal in the Royal Academy. Later, the king arrives and makes a speech. The whole site is filled with applause, and the freshman's speech ends perfectly. The Royal Academy offers a lot of courses, and in the first class, students need to choose their own courses. Kane chooses 4 subjects, namely nobility, adventuring, magic, and magic items. It will be tough for ordinary people to learn 2 subjects, such as Telestia, who chooses nobility and internal affairs, and she chooses the latter because she wants to help Kane manage the domain in the future. Silk chooses the nobility and commerce, hoping to help Kane make money in the future. After the first class, Kane discovers that several noble students are bullying a common student. The commoner is Kane's childhood friend, a demi-human girl. Kane is angry and stops the noble students, who were taught a lesson by Kane before, but this time they don't need to deal with Kane, and they can deal with the demi-human girl with the influence of their families. Kane, as a baron, has no right to take control of their family. Just then, Telestia and Silk come to stop them. Telestia, as the princess of the kingdom, represents the authority of the king. The noble students are instantly frightened, and they immediately kneel down to apologize and ask for the forgiveness of the demi-human girl. After that, the demi-human girl expresses her gratitude to Kane. Telestia and Silk think that the demi-human girl seems to like Kane too, so they talk about him together. In the next second, Kane suddenly hears a man's voice, which can only be heard by Kane. The man asks him to meet him in the library. Kane is curious, so he teleports himself directly to the library. At the library, Kane unexpectedly meets a man who is making coffee. It is he who asks Kane out, and he even knows the name of Kane's previous life. Who is this mysterious man? That brings the end of Chronicles of an Aristocrat Reborn in Another World episodes 7 and 8. At the end of the story, a mysterious man appears. In this world, there is no coffee at all, and the fact that he can make coffee proves that he probably comes from Earth too. Besides, he also knows Kane's secret. I think he is the teacher that the gods found for Kane, and he is likely to be the first king of the kingdom because the first king also traveled from Earth to this world. Also, the first king is a black-haired Japanese, who looks exactly like this mysterious man. His encounter with Kane will definitely be a very interesting story. If you also like this anime, please like and subscribe. If you want to see the next part of this anime, comment below to tell me. See you in my next video.